force the valve. This,
All right, 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 and we're back. Had some technical difficulty there. So what I've now done is, what have I done? I have through some internet wondrous magical through some I use another third party software called Any Audio Converter that does work better on PC. I've turned this .mov file into an MP4 file, and that makes it much happier for Ableton. The 6 GB something. I'm also trying to compress this file at the same time. Oh, hello. There we are. So I'm also trying to compress this because I was going to. I'll just put those in there. Never mind that or that. That's the video I just made a second ago. I'm trying to compress it, and I was thinking about 13 gigabytes. Well, so here we are. I've made an MP4 instead of the MOV. I used Any Audio Converter, which is a free software. It works better on PC. It does work on Mac, but it works a little better on PC. You can convert things. It's also helpful for downloading videos from YouTube. What we're going to do here, I had a couple of silly ideas. So I've made essentially what is part one of this video. Oh no, that's not what I wanted at all. Whoops. I've made essentially what is like a part one of this video. I've actually already uploaded it to YouTube, and it's kind of part of the process for me. Sometimes I like to try things out in their final form, essentially. Man, it's not wanting to drop this. So I'll post something on YouTube or Instagram, and leave it up there for like 20 minutes and just kind of look at what the finished product would be. And if I don't like it, I'll know what to do. It helps me with the process of like, if I get something to where it seems like it's pretty much done, I'll bounce it, and then I'll go back and find out what I really need to change. So, all right, so I need to change my audio settings. So I'm not sure if hold on a second. Hey, 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 hey. What about now? What about now? Can I hear myself in my head? Yeah, so this is the part where I might lose audio recording somewhere because I'm using Soundflower to record the screenshot stuff out of Ableton, but then I can't hear Ableton in my ears. So I can't hear it in my headphones. In order for me to have it set up, in order for me to make it to where you can hear in the video the recording of my screen recording, I have to change my audio settings to be Soundflower, because Soundflower is how I internally route the output of Ableton back into the screen recording. I set the input of the screen recording's audio to be Soundflower, and I set the output of Ableton's audio to be Soundflower. This works for your podcasts and your Zoom meetings and all the digital stuff everyone's doing these days. But if I do that and I'm also making a video like I am now, where I'm using my webcam and also doing the screen recording, it's one or the other, is my point. You get one or the other. So there's a spot here where he says, what was the part? Oh yeah, wind it back. So I gotta find Little John's part, because he says take that and wind it back. I missed it. I think it's earlier. No, it's later. It's at the very end, isn't it? Yeah. I guess it's Ludacris that says that. It's not Lil Jon. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. There it is. There it is. All right, so now I'll switch my output back to be Soundflower. That's what we want. That's what we want. So, thank you, Ludacris. So now I'll chop that and cut the rest. So, I'm going to use as little of this as I can because I'd be able to get played on YouTube. When I was only doing these on Instagram, it was one thing, but YouTube's, I've had videos blocked by Universal UMG in the past because I like to do pop culture sampling, and you have to be tricky because, I mean, how much duration is that? 1.179 seconds. So this is gonna go. This is already making me laugh. All right. So rather than trying to drag that the long way, I just copied it and deleted it, and now I'm gonna go over here and hit Control V. So I'm trying to find the spot. There it is. Now, this is the fun part. So I'll take this, cut it, and I don't want to change any of the parts of the video. So I should be able to Control V, and it's still there. So that's helpful, just to be able to still have that video clip saved in my, I hit Control C and I deleted it. And then I went and did some other stuff, and I came back and just hit Control V, and there it is. So it makes it easy to drop this in. But I do want to do this on that separate channel because I want to do this band passing on it to make it a little more, whatever, make it a little more whatever. There. So dumb. All right, so now we got that part in there. Very important that I added that. Now on to the main thing that I was going to do. When I first was doing part 1 of this video, I had forgotten that I needed to change some of these settings in Soundflower and change my outputs and all the inputs and the outputs and change all the inputs and change all the outputs and change all the inputs and outputs. And there's the inputs and then there's the outputs, and I had to change it to where the inputs were coming to where the outputs were going to make it to where all those things could work. I'm going to chop all that part later and make that more interesting. Anyway, so what we got to do is take this part that was, I think, I had cut. So if you look at the video here, this is all the footage that I used from the iPhone, where the iPhone microphone was picking up the speakers in the room. But then all these shots that are the screen recording, like I'm doing now, I have to change. I have to change when I do the screen recording as I'm making these videos, which is the first. Now I'm doing it for the first time, and I have to go through. If I'm making a video like this and I'm doing screen recording, I have to constantly go through and change my outputs to input the audio from Ableton into the screen recording that I'm making right now. So when I go through and I look at the screen recording later, I'm gonna have different sections that have audio and sections that don't as I'm turning that off and on. I hope it works that way. Anyway, so we got this section, so I need to go through and chop it like I've done here. And thank you, Ludacris. Appreciate your service. And Ursher and Lil Jon. You guys have no idea what that song meant to me in middle school. That was a jam. That was a bop back in the day. We used to get down at the middle school dances to that song. Okay, so I actually did that a little too early, and because I have this clip here that is iPhone audio that doesn't need to be boosted by 12 dB. This part does. So I'm gonna have to go through the whole video and change all this because this was like a mic that was somewhere else. So sorry when you're watching that. This is the how I made the last video. If you watched the last video in the series, this next video that you're watching now, this is the how to the last video. This is how to make a video about how to make a house beat. How to make a video about how to make a house beat. I guess. This should help a lot though. But you won't see the last video that I did, so I guess when you see it, you'll know that I had to do this. Because you won't, I'll delete the one that's there and I'll replace it with this one that has the Ursher part in it. And then you'll look at this video and you'll laugh about how I put that in there. Man, I'm going to have to actually get really close and watch. I can probably just do this by looking at the waveforms. But it helps to be able to look at the waveforms, but I definitely need to. Small bits. This is where it helps to be able to, whatever software you use. I know Pro Tools, I have Logic, and I've messed with it. I still use Ableton just because I'm fast with it and I can do this stuff. Now, when I edit back over to this, it's going to be so dope, guys. But you won't know. Sorry, I know you guys aren't hearing any of this because I haven't changed the outputs over. I might skip through some of this because I'm gonna have to do this again. Such a process, so many steps, all these cuts. Look at all these cuts I've already done. I'm like only halfway there. It is fun though. There's something fun about just like playing with audio like this. I guess you can, since I have, yeah, you should be able to hear me through this. I don't know, I guess you're not, but you would either way. And this is the fun part. This is where I get to add the Missy Elliott bit. It also helps me later when I say things like this because I'm going to go through and just look for these waveforms. And so I might add this part to the video just to tell you that I look for waveforms when I'm doing this. Because when you have long files, I mean, I can't imagine how they did it back in the day with tape where you actually had to sit and listen to every bit. I can just scrub through and just find the waveforms. Does that transition work? Now everyone, this is where we're going to add the Missy Elliott bit, and I'm going to transfer this over to here. But I'm not going to be able to find it if I do that. Shit. Gosh. All right. Yeah. I mean, I have to be able to hear the track to find the part where she says the thing. So once again, I'll probably just cut to the interesting bit. I hope that's working because I'm trying to record really cool stuff into the screen recording, but I don't know if it's working. I really hope it's working. All right, anyway. It's going to remove a lot of the context from this really cool video that I'm trying to make if it doesn't work. That might get blocked. Once again, we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to Control C, delete, go up, and scroll back into the spot I was at. Right here. Same thing, same channel, same bandpass. So silly. All right. Just makes it so dumb. Makes it the best. Same thing here, where I cut to this shot. I'm just having to retouch all the audio from the bad cuts. Line it up. Just line it up. We're just lining it up, guys. That's all. There's just a lot of lines, a lot of buttons. I had a really long break from doing any kind of creative work like this because I got so tired of looking at computers, and all I wanted to do was use power tools and build things for a while. Put a few looks in there for you, and cut through them all real fast, and it'll be funny. It'd be cool if I could somehow split the outputs out of Ableton and have Soundflower being fed while also me having my ears fed. If I could like monitor from Soundflower, I don't know. That'd be really cool. I'm not really sure how to do that. If you know more about audio than I do, and you like commenting on videos on YouTube, boy, have I got a deal for you, my friend. I guess I could make this bigger. I guess it would help me if I could have made this big. Sometimes you do this. You'll be sitting here working on something and realize you're looking at like the tiniest. Like there's no reason for me to be working with the tiniest view of the tiny. Just like squinting my eyes. About here-ish. Oh yes, the soulful vocals. I remember. That part is somehow louder. Hmm. Yeah, that's. I was like walking by the mic. I was like near it when I did that, so it really only needs to be like 6. I think this would be funny. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is I think this would be funny. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I'm able to do that. This is going to be such a long-ass video to work with. Mm-hmm. This is that good shit, guys. And there it is. All right. We made it, guys. We finally did it. I'm going to turn all this off and proceed to continue with the next step. Save screen recording and hope that the audio is good. How to make a video about making a house beat video. Oh, I should have said screen recording. Well, the other one's going to be video. Let's stop that one now. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a nice day on the internet. Stay tuned for more things. Or not. I might not post any more videos after this. You never know. The operation could not be completed. That's probably not good.